Hello YouTube! My name is Scott and welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Opinions No One Cares About. Brand new season, same old hat. So I've decided to kick this season off with a look back at a movie based on, of all things, a board game. No! Absolutely not! That is not the one I meant. No. I'm talking about the one that actually got it right, even if they didn't think so in 1986. Clue. This movie is great. It's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Fight me! A simple dinner party devolves into blackmail, murder, one-liners, and slapstick. How is this movie not a massive success? So am I here to fawn over one of my favorite films when I've watched and repeated so many times my timing is almost perfect? No. Because something occurred to me, you see. I started wondering why all these normal people turn to murder so easily. With the exception of Mrs. White, who, let's face it, is a murderess.
Rather stupidly optimistic. I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died, but he was found dead at home. His head had been cut off. So had his,
Which, now that I think about it, doesn't really explain why the newer versions of the game have introduced a new character called Dr. Orchid. And who does she replace?
You, yes, you, Mrs. White.
So, I tried to form a theory, but got bored, and wound up on Netflix, where I was reminded of this. The Haunting of Hill House. Based upon a book of the same name by Shirley Jackson, this series followed a family who moved into an old house with the intent of renovating it, only to be nearly destroyed when the mother died. That's really just a small part of the plot, but I'm trying to make a point here. Hill House, as it turns out, is home to all the ghosts of people who have ever died there, which by the end of the series includes the mother of the family, the father, and the youngest daughter. That daughter, Nell, was haunted as a child from the first night in the house on by a ghost that she referred to as the Bent Neck Lady. Years later, as an adult, Nell would actually return to Hill House, and thinking she sees her mother, actually ends up hanging herself. And much to her surprise, I imagine as anyone else's, she actually became the Bent Neck Lady, and in a further crazy twist, started traveling back through time to all the times that she had scared her younger self. Didn't really make much sense, but I mean, this is a horror show, so why not, right? Like I said, there's a lot more to the show than that. But it seemed to me that the influence of the house, or maybe the spirits within, had caused Nell to kill herself. And circling back, I wondered, could Hill House be the old house from Clue? Had it worked its way into the minds of people acting under color-coded pseudonyms, inspiring them to kill when the situation could have been resolved like any other way? Given the fact that 7 people died that night, if you go by the ending that the movie says actually happened, I say yes. Okay, Mr. Malfoy, I will. Let's start with the house's name. The house is literally named Hill House in the show. Now, does the house in Clue have a name? To the clip!
Where are you going?
see. Hill House, off Route 41.
Okay, that's not ironclad. Many old houses could have the same name. But, I ask of you, where is Hill House located? Surprisingly simple answer? The book is ambiguous about the house's location, but the TV show set the house in Massachusetts. Now, where does Clue take place again? Now, if you're going to nitpick over things like obvious details, you'll probably notice that the houses look markedly different. But here's the thing. That is not a deal breaker. Part of the lore of The Haunting of Hill House involves a room with a red door that the kids are not supposed to go into, and in fact that nobody can get into.
You're right. We have been in this room so many times and we didn't know. It was your dance studio, Theo. It was my toy room. It was a reading room for Mom. The game room for Steve. A family room for Shirley. A treehouse. But it was always the red room. on different faces so that we'd be still and quiet.
So the Red Room of Hill House has the power to not only look different based on who is inside it, but to camouflage itself so well that they don't even know they're in there. And if one room in this house has this power, I don't think it's that much of a stretch to assume that the entire house could do the same thing. The dark and foreboding Hill House that the Crane family moved into in 1992 could easily be the somewhat lighter-toned site of mass murder that was Hill House in 1954. So if these are the same Hill Houses, I think it helps to explain why Clue worked out the way it did. After all, the plot originally revolved around blackmail, but the blackmailer in question, so everybody thought, went straight to suggesting murder as a way of solving their problems. And every one of the main characters went along with it, without hesitation. An opportunity arose for each of them to kill someone, and that person got dead. And I think it's both the influence of the house and of the ghosts within. You don't see any in Clue, but in Hill House, you can find clips online and screenshots of ghosts just lurking in the background. And I think those ghosts were preying on the Crane family, leading to the deaths of 3 of them in the house, 2 by suicide, and not only that, reaching even further back and preying on the characters of Clue, leading all these mild-mannered people to commit murder seemingly out of nowhere and feed whatever obsession or hunger the house seems to have. So what is the lesson here? Stay out of old houses in New England, I guess. They might look nice on the outside with all their aged, grandiose charm, but step through the door and next thing you know, you're a murderer with a literally colorful nickname. Or you're dead. And that's when the police show up.
You see, like the Monties, we always get our man. Mrs. Peacock was a man?
Like I said, underrated. Alright, one more episode down, one more season started. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me for this long, because honestly, if I hadn't just forced myself to do this video, I might not have started it up again. But you guys know the drill where YouTube is concerned. Please click like, because I'm pretty sure that helps as far as the algorithm goes. Comment if you liked it. I'd love to hear your criticism or praise, either way. Share it around, definitely, because I want to get as many eyes on this as possible. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. But until next time, my name is Scott, and this has been Opinions No One Cares About. Everybody has opinions. This one was mine.